So Jim Hockey with Extreme Networks, and I am the local enterprise account executive for Illinois and Indiana. And I wanted to thank you all for coming here today, and I'll get right into it as we're a little bit behind, but you know, maybe I'll be able to get a couple extra minutes at the end. So I also have on the phone Wolfgang Cortez. He runs our channel for this team, as well as another individual, Nick Gall, who might be able to talk with you on the chat and things like that. So hopefully you're in the right room. This is Extreme Networks, and let's get ready to go. So really, since I have 25 minutes or 20, it's really going to be short and sweet. I know why Extreme, what's happening to everyone in this world, and then pile on COVID-19. So we have a play there. Obviously, technology is driving a lot of business today, and especially with my wife being a teacher, she was eating up a bunch of bandwidth, but her classes are done, so it's all mine today at home. So sit back, hopefully enjoy, interact if you can or want. So the market landscape, like I said, we're all in this together, dealing with this pre or post-COVID. Cybersecurity is always top of mind. It's always what I talk about first, where we talk and deliver security to the edge, whether it's a iPhone, tablet, Zebra scanning device, what have you, IoT device, as well as running it over an open API, meaning you can write to this platform, whether it's a firewall, whether it's a device for taking biometrics when you enter a building, you do an access card swipe, all of these fun things that are going to be more of a normal, common workplace. We have the infrastructure to build it, and then the software to run it. And like I said, Internet of Things, contactless controls, lights, blinds, AV, all these different things that are really top of mind right now. Also, smart buildings, all the way from the garage where you're pulling in to the rooms that you're going to, as well as saving money, all driven by a strong network. And how do we do that? We do it with leveraging cloud. Microservices, applications running in the cloud, our 4th generation cloud. It's not the monolithic legacy way of handling controllers and things like that. It is truly scale as you want. The cloud is also not a limitation. AWS, Google, Azure, our cloud, or if you had a private cloud, you wanted to run that on your private cloud, we have that same solution for you, that same experience for your IT staff. And here's where we get into digital magic. We're not competing against this 5G once it starts to hit more nationally, but we're working with it with our Wi-Fi 6 applications and devices. So whether it's worldwide or on a campus being a business campus, obviously, or even a college campus. And again, global reach. And again, the network is everywhere. So you must use that to your advantage to learn from your network, learn from your building, learn from how people work, getting that control in a very graphical user interface. For everything from the lights above to the paper towels you pull out from the restroom, those are getting on the network. They are knowing how soon that paper towel roll will be emptying. And actually, if you tie your procurement software to that device, it can order its own replacements. So way out there, not even in the future, it is today. So it's a complete enterprise orchestration. So when an employee does return to the workplace, he or she will be that more productive and want to go to the workplace because you're enabling that workplace. So a little bit about Extreme from our customers instead of just me. Everywhere that you see an underline, which is right here, that'll be a live link to the PDF that you'll get after this presentation, either through Kathy or however we get that done. But some of the peer insights from Gartner. This is our customers reaching out to Gartner to give us, in all of these cases, surprisingly, that I selected, they were on the top of the list, all 5 stars. So whether it's CloudIQ, which is our cloud platform, Extreme Switching, everything from an SD-WAN router to data center core switching, we have every step in between those endpoints, even into the end device, and I'll get into that a little bit later as well. Next, we're going to get into the portfolio. And again, it's not going to be a show up and throw you into every device we can have. I just want to let you know what we have in these different layers of the data center to the end device. So whether it's the data center itself, we have chassis based, but we also have modular. What we're seeing nowadays is the modular approach, meaning individual switches and stacking them is starting to make a comeback. But we also, again, have chassis based. And then into the campus, where we use Fabric Connect to help simplify the network, have it recover, be much more recoverable, a single plane, a single platform talking between these devices, different buildings, whether it's in 2 buildings or 20 buildings. It uses the shortest path bridging to use simple and secure networking protocols. Next up is going to be access layer. We're all familiar with these access points, whether they have external antennas over on my right to internal antennas, but also the access layer has in the closet 24 port, 48 point, fiber, all of these things that you'd expect from an enterprise grade network provider. That's what we're delivering here. This device with the on the left, directly under the word campus, is actually an IoT device that allows my customers to use that device to secure unsecure endpoint operating systems, whether they don't have one at all, like IoT devices, or I have a customer that in front of a printing press, they have a Windows 98 box or a Windows XP box that does not have any more security patches coming. This will secure it. And then obviously third-party cameras are also something that we work with every day. And then the end devices, and we don't stop at the access layer. We, with our platform, Extreme CloudIQ, tied in with Extreme Management Center, which is XMC, driving analytics and control for all of these different devices in your workplace, whether it, again, in the parking lot or in the corner office. Cameras, access card swipes, fire life and safety. If you've got new construction, please talk to me, whether it's lighting or door access as well. The icon there with the flames and the my attempt at showing a tornado. In today's new construction, people are using overhead lighting to tell people where to go. So if there is an alarm, in case of a fire, you want to get out of the building during the right exit. But if there is a tornado, you want to get to a tornado safe room. So that's what people are doing today in the modern new construction as well. Or if you're doing a deep retrofit, because chances are you might be doing that. You might have had a bank of desks sitting next to each other, face to face and such like that. It's new times, and you might be doing a deep retrofit to allow people to come back to the building in order to be productive and be collaborative face to face. Might be a good time to look at this IoT again to make it a safer workplace and more orchestrated, whether it's tying in HVAC with the use of a room, using natural light to not burn electricity energy, all of these different things. But then obviously the device itself, the computer on your desk, the computer you drag around with yourself, the tablet that you might be using to do digital whiteboards, which I usually do, to a scanner for distribution centers. And again, the mobile phone that is either company provided or BYOD, we have that visibility within CloudIQ to find out where the problem is, as opposed to try and find the problem. You know where the problem is, and again, saving time and money and a better customer experience when it comes to when someone visits your place of business or an employee is trying to get work done. So again, the CloudIQ, it delivers that flexibility in the cloud and on-prem as an option. Just want to have a shout out as well. All of our support when you call into our Global Technical Assistance Center, 100% in-house, 100% in the native language. And then we have that visibility into the control plane using, as well as IoT. And again, I'm rolling through here. We'll see how much time I have at the end. But here's one thing I did want to drop into here. So we are innovating. We're constantly innovating. So what we have done is, over the years, we've acquired some companies and have different operating systems on our switches. So people had to make a decision. Do I want to have this operating system, XOS or VOS or BOSS? Well, we have come up with a universal switch that allows you to buy the switch and run those different operating systems, as well as AP hardware. Very unique in the enterprise space as well. So please reach out to me and talk to me about this after the show and my time here. That would be great. So let's go ahead and dig a little bit deeper in. It's an overview of the network, right? So some people are afraid of cloud, fearing security and such like that. But right now you're doing CRM, you're doing email, you're doing health records. I mean, all of my health records are a button click away on a web page, and I can actually have my doctor see my results, even if he wasn't my doctor or she wasn't my doctor. So it is definitely the wave of today and going forward, is that securing of the cloud, as well as how we do it with our 27001 ISO certification, which means that we've got a third party investigating and making sure we're using security best practices for all of our applications. So the cloud fear is gone. We're all using it. And how we're using it is a 4th generation cloud, and we call it Extreme CloudIQ. And that's our platform for monitoring, managing, gaining machine learning and analytics via artificial intelligence. And I'll get into some of those bonus things that are coming up here. So Extreme Cloud, the official definition, is built on a 4th generation cloud, delivering secure microservices on a single interface for wired and wireless, with visibility from core to edge, device, and application. That's a lot of words that really is saying it's going to help elevate business agility, enabling visibility and management for a modern, learning, autonomous network. So let's get into the infrastructure side of things. These are the things that plug in, and these are the things, the devices that are plugging into your network. So just like any other standard network, you have the router, you have the switching, you have the APs, and then you've got this gap that most people have to go to another application or are just blind because they can't see into the devices in the IoT space. But that's where CloudIQ is completely different. So again, what's on your network? You have workstations. You're going to have laptops that people bring in, again, corporate or BYOD. You're going to have mobile phones that people, again, will join your network and help do some security as well, but also tablets, handheld scanners, MRI devices, pumps that are in healthcare. So the network is hitting every room in every building. So what is happening? So what is happening is you're using security cameras running over your network that tie to access card swipes, which is what that is, as well as, again, fire life and safety, making the workplace more secure, but also a safer place to work. And then what are we orchestrating? We're orchestrating lighting, again, not using electricity when you don't have to, making room experiences more enjoyable, whether that room experience is a restroom, but also a conference room that have shades drop down because you start a presentation. Again, back when we get to the when we get back to the office as well, and then even elevators, where it will know that you are the person getting in the elevator, and it'll take you to the right floor, and use Bluetooth beacons to get you to the right room. Again, all these things are happening in new construction as well as deep retrofit. So again, talk with us about it. We can help make that happen. So how do we make it happen? So that's where our platform comes in, bridges that gap between your infrastructure and the end devices. And that's Extreme CloudIQ Management. So some of the internal products, subproducts, you might want to say, Network 360 and Client 360. Again, Network 360 is looking at all of the devices that make up your infrastructure. And Client 360, all of the devices that are coming onto your network, and having one single pane of glass to see that. So where this is hosted could be on our data center cloud, Google's cloud, Amazon's cloud, or even, again, your private data center cloud, and most recently, Microsoft Azure. So we're not locking you into any cloud at all, and the decision's all up to you. So now that you've got all the hardware done right, you've got all of the end devices, even though you didn't know them until they joined your network, now you still have to make sure that it's working correctly. And that's what those 1001s came in. You know, you have to know what's going on at the router, what's going on at the switch, what's going on at the AP, but also looking into the device's operating system to find out who they are, who's having the problem. So once you figure out, or your network figures out for you, that's the issue of making sure that it finds the right issue, identifies it, potentially already machine learned, or if you have a failure somewhere and you need an RMA, that might already be in motion. That is coming in our next uplift from CloudIQ. We're at currently Pilot is the name, but Copilot is coming up shortly, and will deliver that auto RMA, meaning I've got a failure. I know I'm going to fail. I'm going to order my own replacement. Great stuff. And all of this allows you to find out that the problem might be the end device, or maybe it is the switch in the middle. Go to the problem so you spend your time on focusing on the real issue, not trying to find it. But then you also have, there's one thing missing. What is not here is the person coming into your network. So they come in, they're the ones bringing in the tablets, going to their desk, working on their laptop, bringing their own cell phone, using a conference room, using the restroom, being seen, coming in through an access card swipe. And then if it's an employee, they might know how to get out of the building. But if it's a fire, they will be told by the building which door to use. Very awesome stuff. Love to talk to you about it. And we have specialists back in corporate that can dig down even deeper than where I'm at today. And oh yeah, by the way, we can also track it using 5G with my logistics companies, tying that to the Wi-Fi 6. So again, we don't stop at the door either. So again, we're driving the connected enterprise. And again, you'll get a copy of this presentation. So that is our CloudIQ network platform. I've been rolling here. Let me get a drink. Hold on. Okay, so performance initiatives, pretty simple. Most people want to help reduce costs. What we implement helps reduce cost. Delivering a fast network is not good enough. It's the next generation where the network can grow and expand and scale to handle IoT, powering lights, powering shades, powering paper towel dispensers, yes. But then you also have IoT issues where their operating system or the device itself has no security built in. That's where Defender for IoT security comes in. And then it is all about the digital experience. Everything's digital. Again, I'm the enterprise account executive, but at the beginning of this year, I was selling wireless LANs to 2 pig farms and a greenhouse. So digital is everywhere. One of those was at a state fairgrounds. So, you know, the education of when kids walking through and can learn about this, that, and the other thing, and seeing it, experiencing it. Those times are coming. So to break it down in a nutshell again, CloudIQ, it's help you to make a business adaptive network, protect your investment, especially with universal hardware, and make it simple. Imagine getting that device. You already have CloudIQ set up. You've bought some new APs for a site that's already VPN'd in or VLANed or what have you, and you plug it in and it configures itself. It applies the right policies, the right private pre-shared keys. So when you go from building to building, It knows your devices. It puts you on the right VLAN, so you're not having to put a bunch of access points in with a bunch of SSIDs, which are those things you see when you go to network or you go to Wi-Fi. It actually puts you on the right network because of who you are and the devices you're bringing in. Very powerful stuff. Much easier to manage than a bunch of different Wi-Fi networks to do this, that, or the other thing. And then some more whys about why people choose Extreme Networks. Other than being one of the fastest growing companies in the network space, CloudIQ, one wired and wireless LAN management platform. All the things in purple I want you to, at a minimum, remember. Again, the ISO 27001 certification, it's not just for a data center, it is our applications. And then again, that link will show you that certification and what that certification really gets you. Unlimited ML and AI data storage. That means in that cloud and in that subscription that you sign up for, all of that motion, all of the machine learning and artificial intelligence is stored up in the cloud, and it is unlimited with your pilot license or co-pilot when it comes out, and so on. So perfect for retail and manufacturing floor. How are you manufacturing your product? Can you do a better job in rearranging your manufacturing floor? Can you do a better job when you're laying out your grocery store or your clothing store to be more productive, be a better experience for your end users? And here I talk about also the PPSKs and the policies instead of a bunch of SSIDs that you have to manage and have people to tell them to join. And it just gets very cumbersome. Those days are done if you talk with Extreme Networks. We also have the ability on that platform to talk with and integrate with firewalls. So a trigger happens on the firewall, it can actually tell our switches, let's say, to shut down a port. So an added layer of security just built in. And again, using microservices for cloud delivery, meaning we're not taking down the application for you to get new services, new features, new functionality. They just show up. I'm an AE and I have to go into CloudIQ every day because changes happen for the better every day. And then XMC is our next level on top of that we'll be working with CloudIQ soon. And that allows us to, or allows my customers to work with Extreme product as well as other manufacturers that I'm sure are on your network, and make it, again, another pane of glass to, single pane of glass to work with. And then the bottom link is a vision video that came from our, similar to what Entree is doing here today with the virtual user group. We had ours in September, and our CTO really explained in a very short video where we're going, where the industry is going, and where we're leading the industry. And that's the CloudIQ flexibility of bringing in a third-party biometric scanner and two other different things that allows a person to get into the office just because they have obviously the correct body temperature, but other biometrics as well. So I have also the obligatory, here's all our stuff slide, but I didn't throw up a bunch of pictures. We have the switching, 24 port, 48 port, fiber, 10 gig, 25 gig, 100 gig. So these are all links, live links to go to those specific things. So if your interest is in switching, routing, wireless, management, analytics, or security, all of that is on our website. So I didn't want to take up my time here with that. But what you see in the lower right-hand corner, though, is really interesting. This is showing you where those access points are. You hover over these, you see who are on these access points. You see the ability down to the access point layer if there is some radio interference or it's dropping people. You see that before the end user really starts to feel that pain, and you can adjust from CloudIQ. Very, very powerful stuff. And again, you can do it on your phone via an app that we're working on that will be out shortly, but usually through a web browser, extremecloudiq.com if you wanted to look at it and sign up for an account. Not a problem at all. and talk with us about how you join our Wireless Wednesday, which is tomorrow, over lunch. And just by attending, you'll be getting a free access point that you can load up into CloudIQ and see it. And then we can follow up and make sure that you're having a good experience that way. And industry-based, industry-wide, whether it's manufacturing, healthcare, ISPs, hospitality, or hospitals, obviously, and then retail. And then those are the verticals I cover. If it's government and education, you can always reach out to me, but there is a separate rep that deals with K through 12 education, higher ed, state, local, and federal government type of accounts, because that's a different focus of ours, both on the sales side, but then also system engineering, because education and government have a lot of different requirements, and so do every individual standard industries like manufacturing, healthcare, and things like that. So real quick here, here's one of the things that will happen when you join Extreme Cloud. You're going to join this community. This is a map of everywhere we have installations in the world. And what's going on here is that machine learning for your devices, but as well as we are looking and seeing all of these devices, the telemetry data. The end user customer data does not traverse this network. This is just for machine learning, so we can build a better product for you. We can learn from your networks, just like you're learning from your networks, to deliver a better experience and eventually, obviously, a better product.